Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fusion tutorial. In today's video, we're going to make a gnat catcher out of this mason jar. And to get started, we need to take a few measurements. We need to take all of these measurements with our calipers, except instead of the minor diameter, we're going to do a thread height. So to get the major diameter, I like to anchor one side of the calipers with my thumb and then rotate the other jaw till it gets to the largest measurement. And that's pretty accurate for the major diameter. To get the height of the thread, we're going to use the other end of our calipers and just kind of push it between the threads. All right, now that we're in Fusion, let's get right into it. I have done several of these videos in the past, creating threads to fit onto jars and stuff. And I even have a parametric model on Maker World that you can just type in some of your data and it'll just make the cap for you. But today we're just going to do it from scratch again. So, okay. Let's start with a cylinder, and we're going to do a simple cylinder, and we're going to basically create the space of the inside of the cap. So the major diameter, we're going to do 69.8. But I want to add some clearance. Remember, the 69.8 represents the major diameter of the jar itself, and we need some clearance. So I'm going to just bump this up to maybe like 0.3 bigger. A mason jar doesn't need tight tolerances. It's a pretty loose fit. So I might do like 70.3. So I'm going to do 70.3. The height was 14. That's how tall we can make our lid, and we can hit enter. From here, we can use the shell tool, and we're going to keep this side open. And since this cylinder represents the space inside the cap, we want to shell it to the outside. And we'll just maybe make this like 2.5 thick. So now the empty space inside this cap used to be the cylinder. All right, so let's create the threads. So we're going to go up to Create and Coil. I'm going to select this top surface here, and I'm going to bring my mouse over to the origin and then drag it out till it snaps to the inside diameter of this cap. And there is our coils. So you can see we have to change a bunch of things. I want this on height and pitch. When you open this up, you're probably going to be on revolutions and height, but change it to height and pitch. We're going to start kind of from the bottom up. The operation is just going to be new body because we're going to have to move this around a little bit. The section size is kind of how large the threads are. So right now it's at 17.5, which is the distance from here to here. We know our thread height is 1.6, but I'm going to make it a little bigger than that for now. So I'm just going to do 2. The section position is the position of our thread on this blue circle that we made. So it's set to inside, so the triangle sits on the inside of it. If it was center, it would be in the center. If it was on the outside, it would be on the outside. And then our triangle is internal because we want it pointing internally. The diameter here is when we initially drew this blue line, so that's set. Our height is going to be no larger than this right here, which I believe is about, what did we say, 14? So we could maybe make this, let's just make this, oops, not diameter. Let's make the height maybe like 9 of the threads. But I'm going to do -9 because I want it going in the other direction. And our pitch was 5.8. So I'm going to do -5.8. The reason I'm doing negative is because the coil and everything was going upward and I wanted to go in the opposite direction, which is why I put a negative sign. And that looks pretty good other than moving this around. So let's hit OK here. So from here, I'm going to hit M on the keyboard. And I'm going to select the coil body here. I'm going to click on this arrow, and you can either click on this arrow and manually kind of drag it down. The closer you zoom in, the less it moves. So we can just kind of do something that looks like this. -3, that looks okay. Perfect. And let's hit OK. So if you remember, our thread height was 1.6 on the jar. So if I click this edge and hold shift and click this surface, we're at 2. I made it a little longer because I don't want this pointy edge here. So I'm going to chamfer this maybe by like 0.5 and hit OK. Now if we select this surface, hold shift, click this surface, we're almost at 1.6. And this is just something you have to play with. Remember, we already added clearance. I believe our major diameter, what was it here? Our major diameter was 69.8. And we made this diameter 70.3. So we have almost a half a millimeter of clearance here. So we don't really need to add any more clearance to the threads because it's already kind of pushed back. But that's something, depending on the jar size and the thread size, you just have to kind of play around with for your clearances. But this is looking good. So what we need to do next is add kind of a leading edge to this beginning of the threads here. And what did we say this was? 1.567. So if we go to chamfer here and we click this edge, what we want to do is do two distances. And one distance is going to be looks like we have to do this distance first. So we're going to type in just a little less than that 1.567. So I'm going to do 1.5. Oops. Now watch this. This might happen to you. We didn't connect these bodies yet, so it's chamfering the wrong way. So I'm going to hit cancel. Now that we have our threads in the position we want, we can join these all together. So I'm going to go to combine. The target body is going to be the cap. Make sure this is set to join. The tool body is going to be the threads, and we can just hit OK. And now it joined the threads with the cap, so we're left with one body. Now we can go into the chamfer this edge to distance. We're going to drag. Can we drag this one out? We can drag this one out. We can make this one 1.566. Has to be just a little less than the actual height. If we did the exact amount, they'll give me an error. So I just do like 0.01 less. And we can drag this out maybe to like 4. And now since we have that right, we can do this on the back side too. So if you hold Alt, you can, Control on the keyboard, or on Windows. I'm used to using a Mac. If you hold Control, you can click this edge and it'll add to that chamfer. So now we have our nice chamfers here. Hit OK. And that pretty much does it for our cap itself. We can do some finishing touches here. We can select this surface and this edge and do like let's go back to equal distance and do maybe like a 0.5 chamfer just to clean up those edges. And now let's make the cone part for the gnat trap. There's lots and lots of ways you can do this, and I'm not even sure this is the easiest way, but I'm just going to draw a sketch on this front plane. I'm going to go to Create, Project, Intersect. And I want to make sure this has bodies for the selection filter, and I'm going to click this body and hit OK. What that just did is create a sketch of this body where it intersects the plane. So if I shut this body off, you can see it kind of drew that sketch, that slice of that body on this plane. And from here, we can kind of just draw out a cone. So I'm going to, I guess, let's hit L on the keyboard, X to make it a construction line, and we can decide how tall we want to make this cone. Maybe like 3 inches, or maybe we'll just do a little less, like 60 inches or 60 millimeters, I mean. Now I know I want about a 3 millimeter opening here at the end of my cone, and then I want the rest to be all open. So let's do, so if we have this 1.5, because we're going to revolve this, so this would need to be about 1.5, and then I want my walls to be about 2 millimeters thick. So we need to go to about 3.5 here. And we can draw another line that goes all the way down to kind of wherever you want this cone to end. That looks about right. And let's draw a line back to the origin, and then a line back up to the top to close this off. So let's finish sketch. I'm going to hold Shift and click on these two profiles here, create and revolve, and we're just going to revolve around this center line and hit OK. From here, we can click on this surface, click on this surface and then use the shell tool. This time we're going to go to the inside, and remember we made 2mm walls, and let's hit OK. And let's see if we did that right. So this is about 2.73. So we didn't quite get our 3mm, but that's close enough. You can, like I said, you can toy with that however you want. There is our cone. Let's turn our other body back on. So now we can do some combine tools. We're going to cut away this body. So the target body is the cap. The tool body is the cone, and we want to cut. And we want to make sure we have keep tools checked. So we keep the cone after we cut it. So we can hit OK. Now we should have 3 bodies. We're going to have this little piece that we cut away here, the cone and the cap. So we can hide the little cutaway here and then combine these. So let's bring this back to join. Target body is this cap, tool body is the cone. We do not need to keep the tool this time, and we'll hit OK. And now we have our gnat trap. You can see it's all one body. And again, the only thing you might want to do is round over some edges. Not totally necessary, but it's always a good idea when you are 3D printing to not have sharp edges. 0.5 seems okay. Hit OK. Okay, I will get this printed out and I will show you how it fits. Okay, so I printed this in Bamboo Labs PLA Tough. It printed really, really nicely, and I got a pretty decent fit on the very first try. Not that really hard to do if you take some careful measurements. Now with this gnat trap, you can fill it up with some fruit at the bottom or some apple cider vinegar and start catching those gnats. All right, see you on the next one.